Hi, I'm homosexual Bryan Safi.
Hi, I'm feminist Mary Gibson.
And this is Attitudes.
Gender issues.
LGBT plus issues.
Pop culture.
And a little bit of mud. Can't handle it.
Did you go mudding this week? Is that why? Is it fresh on your mind?
No, but my parents are freshly into the Beverly Hillbillies. There's some weird
Which
TV
era?
station.
Wait, the Jim Varney vehicle or the...
No, the original, the OG TV series about the Beverly Hillbillies, these hillbillies, that's their word, who strike it rich, move to Beverly Hills, and then deliver some of the worst comedy and worst laugh tracks I've ever seen in my life.
May I show you something? This is very on topic for Beverly Hillbillies, and I can't believe I'm saying that.
Yeah.
Wait, are they talking to you about the Beverly Hillbillies?
Yeah, there's some new, there's all these TV stations that no one's ever heard of.
Yes.
It is. It's the opposite of Schitt's Creek, Jenny. That's the modern way to put it. Yeah. So they're on, it's like on Acorn, not Acorn, but it's on like Totally Tubed or network. You know what I mean? It's on some weird. Erin, are you journaling?
No, I'm trying to find this picture that someone sent me.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of Schitt's Creek, one of our directors last season, Paul Fox, who is the main director for Schitt's Creek, was one of our directors. And I showed him the worst haircut I've ever had in my life, which you've seen many times. You saw it in person.
You say the worst, I say the best.
Well, okay, so he couldn't stop laughing at it. And then he said he couldn't figure out what it reminded him of.
Sure.
And then he finally figured it out after he left. So he sent me a picture of the secretary of Beverly Hillbillies. And he said,
AKA
and he was
Hollywood's
like,
Eleanor Roosevelt.
This is who you are.
She's the best.
He wouldn't stop sending me. Every couple of weeks, he'll just send me that picture randomly.
Sergio, could you drop in the chat the picture of the secretary?
Okay, so yeah, she was a character actress.
She worked
correct?
at the bank. Oh, she was fabulous. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
She was great.
A secretary at a bank.
She might have been queer.
No, let's
in
hope
real
so.
life even.
Oh yeah, let's hope so. I think she's classy as shit. She was my favorite character, as a matter of fact.
Oh, she was the best.
It's just I had a Norwegian, as you remember, or Danish cookie logo. Yes, that's my haircut.
Hollywood's Eleanor Roosevelt. There she is.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, perfect.
Anyway.
You had a Danish what?
When I had that Danish cookie logo haircut of a little boy on a Danish cookie box.
Do you remember? Was that also your passport photo?
Oh, no, that wasn't growing out, but that was when the man did slim my face because he said I looked too fat in my passport photo.
Horrible.
Something you're not supposed to do.
Horrible.
No. Anyway, well, I'm glad Beverly Hillbillies is a forefront on everyone's mind right now.
I can't even believe I brought it up, to be honest with you.
Why are they talking to you about it? Is that what you talk about when you call?
No, because I'll say like, oh, what are you all doing? We've started watching Beverly Hillbillies. I'm like, well, click. Lily Tomlin played her in the reboot. There you go.
But see, that haircut's not bad. That other one is very bad.
Honestly, they both, to me, look.
Well, okay, the Lily Tomlin is like, what if someone said, do Anna Wintour, but do the hell version?
Do a Christine Baranski meets Anna Wintour.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely. You know what
so you'll say, what are you doing? Hi, mommy. Hi, daddy. Hi, mommy. Hi, daddy, which is what you say when you call them, right?
Yeah. I say, hi, mommy. Hi, daddy. And then we talk about, actually, I have to be honest with you, I'm on a zero sleep for the past 2 nights. Because
of Beverly Hills Billies?
No, because there was a fire in this building. And it was the burning smell. And it was fine. They maintained it. But
what happened?
Party.
No.
Party animals. So the smell of like burnt plastic was streaming through the vent. So I called up the person who, like the maintenance person, and they were like, I can't turn off the vent because if I turn off the vent, it'll turn it off for everyone. I'm like, good. That's the idea. It's burning plastic wafting in here. It smelled so terrible. So I had to leave the apartment, and my dumbass, instead of being like, well, no, that's not true. I went on hotels tonight. When I tell you the cheapest one was like $670.
Oh, the New York City hotel scenario?
Robbery.
Yes.
So I decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a little self-hostage. So on the 3rd floor, there's like an office space floor and they have a sofa on it. So I put on my puffer coat. I brought down a blanket. I brought down a pillow and I tied, because the lights are full on in there. You can't turn them off and there's music constantly playing. So I tied a full scarf around my face, my eyes. I looked like I birdboxed myself is what happened.
I haven't seen that movie, but I believe you.
I did a full bird box.
Why does she have to do blindfolds? Because she didn't have sunglasses?
Because I think she thinks birds are too pretty or something. I'm not honest.
Oh, okay. Sure. But you've seen it.
Correct.
Okay.
And something about the ocean, maybe.
I see. I can't. That's one movie I can't get any context clues out of just the promo.
So I did a self bird box. Mm-hmm. When I woke up, my hair did look like Lily Tomlin's. And
you slept all night there?
Well, all night being from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m.
Oh, God.
I woke up so fucking pissed off, Erin. So pissed.
Why?
Because I was just cranky and pissed. What do you mean, why? Why do you think?
I think 4 hours of sleep on a couch with a jacket wrapped around my eyes on a couch, probably from Wayfair, the cheapest one they had.
Oh, for sure.
Sounds like a beautiful night's rest.
And I woke up the next day so mad, so pissed, and then I came back to the apartment. It still smelled like burning plastic. So I obviously kept the windows open all day and just left. I was so mad. I went to the gym. I took a shower. It was awful. And I'm still mad.
Why? Okay, so there was a fire in someone's apartment. Do you know what caught fire?
I don't. But do you know that movie Watcher in the Woods?
No.
Well, it was a horror movie in the 80s starring a figure skater who ended up not getting on the medal stand. And Bette Davis. And at the end of Watcher in the Woods, she blindfolds herself and goes to a funhouse mirror and sees herself. That was me. You understand?
What happens after? What's the horror part of the funhouse mirror?
Narek. So someone named Karen went missing, but they think the person who went missing's name is Narek, but that just turns out to be Karen spelled backwards. So it was taking some Shining inspo for sure. And it was rated PG, so it wasn't that scary. And Kyle Richards was in it, Kim Richards' little sister. So anyway, it's one thing to get Patty Hursted, but it's another thing to Patty Hearst yourself.
Yeah.
So not only was I trying to talk some sense into my captor, I realized I was the captor. I was both victim and captor.
Yes.
Much like that trainer at SeaWorld who was pulled in by the ponytail.
Yes. Is the smell gone now?
That's the thing. Am I but used to it or am I but done with it?
I don't know.
Do you understand?
But can I ask you a question?
And last night I had 3 hours of sleep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Last night. So 7 hours total.
In 2 days.
And at what point did you walk directly into one of those old-timey 70s car washes? I'm just asking because of your shirt.
Oh, because it has holes in it.
Yeah.
I know. I just noticed this the other day. I need to go take it to get repaired. By the way, if you ever need anything...
Do you know how easy it is to sew your own shirt?
No, you have to understand the building. But I have to be honest with you. If you ever need anything tailored in New York, go to Eddie's Expert Tailoring. He even does t-shirts.
And what does he do?
Tailors my pants, tailors my shirts. I got some clothes from the show and they gave them to me, but they weren't all to size. And
because they had put you in binder clips?
Correct. From jeans to pants to shirts, everything. Jackets. He does everything. And he's so fabulous. And it's a really good deal. He was terrific.
Okay. Eddie's. Go to Eddie's. Tell him Bryan
Expert
sent
Tailoring.
you.
It's on Allen Street on the Lower East Side. Anyway.
Sorry. I didn't know if we were done with the local New York commercials. Do you have anything else? What else can people go visit when they're there in their $800 a night hotel room?
Well, obviously, Fresco by Szabo is a must.
Of course.
Is a must.
Okay, what could you just New York Times style do Bryan Safi's 36 hours in New York?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to Suited for a croissant. Suited, by the way, is on the coffee tours that people do in New York, which I think is so silly.
What the fuck is that?
People do coffee tours.
Well, I'm going to tell you something right fucking now. And I'm here. I am here to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
New York does not have good coffee.
Oh, you're out of your mind.
No, I'm not. I'm not out of my
You
mind.
are.
Come for me. Come for me.
I'm here.
If you go to any
I'm there.
coffee shop, if you take someone from Portland and put them in New York City and say, here's some good coffee, they'll literally kick you in the face.
Can I tell you this?
Italians hate all the fucking coffee in New York. It sucks.
Well, the kind I get is good, and I don't have any taste.
Oh, because I drink cold coffee the way Jesus intended it to be.
And I don't drink it in that. No.
Oh, and I
Adam
went by
has.
that Capri Sun Pouch place.
I
by the
told
way.
you that was trash.
Well,
I told you straight up that was trash.
But here's my point. How many fucking locations of that trash place are there? Many.
I think there's a few.
That I'm telling you, you are fucking playing yourself, New York City.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I don't think it's very good here. But I'll say this. The pizza's good and the bagels are good.
There you go. I mean, I'm saying
But that would make
can't
sense.
have
The
it
coffee
all.
would be good because the reason the pizza and the bagels are good is because of the water quality here.
Yeah, but everyone's burning the fucking coffee in New York. It's literally like people think that it's like how my dad used to drink coffee. My dad used to put way too many scoops of Folgers, more than God should ever. And I know I've referenced God and Jesus about coffee, but they were experts.
Yeah, and last week you accused me of being too religious on this show.
I know.
just
Well,
as
here
a
we
point
go.
of
It's
fact.
my turn now. What I'm
Here's
saying
what-
is it tastes like gunk. I'd rather lick a tire.
Honestly, Erin, to come after,
I'm just saying,
My
why do a
city?
tour?
I agree with you. I would never do a coffee tour. I do
Do a
tours of
pizza tour,
Bergdorfs.
do a bagel tour.
Yeah, I would do that.
My God, do all the amazing, the cocktails in New York are phenomenal. I'll tell you where I have the worst cocktails in the world is LA.
You know,
And what I'm saying is nobody's perfect.
you're
Nobody
really
perfect.
you're asking the wrong person at this point, Erin, because I am so out of my mind psycho today. I can't even begin to tell you about it.
Okay.
Okay, so my 36 hours in New York.
Okay, go. Please
Have a
don't include
croissant.
coffee.
Get asked a million times every day if you want to go see to the top of the World Trade Center Observatory in the Freedom Tower. Because, by the way, do you know that the first thing I see every time I walk outside is the World Trade Center monument, right?
No.
It's the first thing I see. Yeah, I'm like right on it. So every time I walk outside, the first thing I do as I'm getting coffee is I see the giant pits where the towers were that are now waterfalls. So that your day in New York should start off cracking with the worst disaster to ever happen on American soil.
And then you
A constant
followed up with the
reminder
worst
of it.
coffee. Yes. There you go.
Followed up with coffee and a croissant that is actually pretty good. I will say the croissants that suited are good. And I like the coffee, but that's just because I'm used to it. Follow that up with coming back home where only one elevator is working in a 65-story building. Yeah. So that was terrible. And so then you wait in line to go do that. And then you go outside and you have a fight with somebody who called you a pig bitch. And then from there, I went to Bergdorf because I wanted to see if they had in the kids section, they have these beautiful ornaments there that are like, they're expensive. They're like $12, but I like to get one for my nieces every year, like one each. So you go to Bergdorf, but it's so fucking crowded and crazy that you end up leaving practically in tears. And then you come back home. So that's my
And what
36
time are
hours
you going to Bergdorf's?
I went at like 11 this morning.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right when it opens?
And then I saw a Donald Trump impersonator outside Trump Tower. And I couldn't tell if they hated him or loved him. It was just a lot. Okay. And by the way, I wouldn't have it any other way. I love this city. And I saw Reese Witherspoon's son and Nikki Hilton the other night.
Together?
Yes. She was hosting a party at Burberry that I somehow got invited to.
What?
So I went to this. I'm not even kidding.
You went to a
And then
party
afterward-
at Burberry?
And then afterward, I had a drink with my friend Isaac, who's so fabulous. His name's Isaac Boots. He's so great. He's the one who invited me to this Burberry party, which was hilarious. And then
So when you say somehow I got invited to a Burberry
That's
party,
how I
the
got
somebody is actually a person you know.
yes,
Okay.
and afterward, and at the Burberry party, by the way, someone said, "How would you describe your style?" And then looked at me and said, "Or would you?"
I love New York. This is what I love about New York.
Yes. And then afterward, we went to go get a drink at a hotel around the corner. And Isaac and I were taking a picture together because it's been like, we've been friends online for a million years. It's Isaac Boots, but we've never met and we've always tried to meet. So this was fun to go get a drink. So we took a picture, and then a woman walks up and she goes, "Can this old gal get in the shot?" And she got right in our picture. She was great. She's there for 4 nights.
She what?
She's there for 4 nights in the city.
In the city. And so she just wanted to be in a city photo?
She lives outside of Baltimore, yeah.
Oh, well, that tracks. Everything now tracks.
And then have a fire in your building. So that's my 36 hours in New York.
I love it.
Yeah.
And how do you get on for this tour?
The Pig Bitch Tour?
Pig Bitch, 36 hours in New York City.
DM me. And that's right, Amy. And the tagline is, get called a pig bitch and go to the top of Bergdorfs all in one day. It's great.
I love it. It's so good. Now, you haven't mentioned my favorite thing about New York City at this time of the year.
What's that?
The tree.
I haven't seen it yet.
In Rockefellers.
I need to go to Rockefeller.
Yeah.
I need to go to Rockefeller.
And you got to hit up that anthropology there.
And the J. Crew.
You got to hit up all the J. Crews and anthropology next to Rockefellers.
Without question.
Also, there's like a weird shoe store there too.
9 West, Aldo.
Great. Yeah.
Something like that.
All of it.
Oh, there's a TGI Fridays. That might be closing though.
Oh, why is that?
Well, I don't know because
Didn't they go,
I think they're filing. I think they're going bankrupt. No one goes there anymore. Anyway, we have our lady attorneys with us, and most of them it was their first time, and I'm gonna guess their last. Because we recorded at an odd time today. We're recording on a Sunday morning.
We're literally recording during church hours. I'm not even joking.
We really are. You're right.
Maybe that's
why I'm so out of it. I didn't go to church this morning.
Oh, that's right. You didn't go to church and do your sermons and stuff.
How was your weekend, by the way?
I do sermons on my face.
What does that mean?
I do like a moisturizing sermon. Then I do like a age-defying sermon.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Growing up in church, I never understood one sermon and it never fully absorbed. So my guess is yours do.
My sermon. Absorb. Yes, exactly. Perfect. All my sermons do. I'll tell you what, I'm so allergic to religion right now. I can't go to one. If a holiday party just sniffs of religion, I'm out.
Sure.
I'm out. I want to see.
Now, is religion to you still the same thing as like the smell of pine, or is that okay? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I'll tell you
if someone's having a holiday party and they have a pine candle or a pine tree, is that too much religion? Or let's say they have pine sol. Is that too much religion?
I know you're LOLing with me. You're razzing me. Okay. I know you're trying to harass the pants off of me. But I'm going to tell you a true story right now. And I swear on my, anybody in my family who's dead, their grave.
Okay.
My grandma's.
Yeah, but she called you a slut, Erin. So
yeah. Oh, no, the other grandma.
Oh, good. Okay.
Who taught me how to be a slut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even better.
Wow. I mean, this is peak podcasting for you guys. I have hardwood floors at my house. They're not good. They're not good hardwood floors. They're old and they're dirty. And so I had bought some floor cleaner. That didn't really work. I bought another floor cleaner. That didn't really work. I go, well, fuck it. I guess I'm going to have to do the old 1-2 shuffle to Buffalo and get Murphy's oil soap. But the problem with Murphy's oil soap, as anyone who grew up going to Catholic church knows, it's what they clean the fucking pews with. And
so it smells like church in your house.
I forgot. And now my house smells like a Catholic church.
The call is coming from inside the house.
I know.
And you said you weren't going to a home or holiday party that has a tint of religion. And meanwhile, you're basically running a convent.
Right in there. And if anybody who's dressed as a goth comes into my house, they burn alive immediately. It's very bad. I don't know how to get it out.
Good.
I don't know how to get it out. And guess what else is bad? I like it.
What?
I like it.
You like it.
See, everybody else is using Murphy's.
That's real Catholicism for you right there.
Yeah.
Guilt and pleasure.
I love a recommendation of anything else that actually works. Because everything else leaves a fucking waxy ass. And I got a puppy. Who's got, he never wears shoes, you know?
Are you kidding me?
My dog never wears shoes.
Well, that's religious too. What is he, a martyr?
Yeah. I just don't want his little feet on the floors with all the chemicals.
Wait, when you say puppy, do you mean Oliver? Or is there
Yeah.
a new guy? Okay, good.
No, I call him puppy.
Okay, that's fine.
You know when you call like an old man
puppy?
youngie?
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Are we sure that my brain's the one that scrambled today? I just wasn't.
Oh, well, guess what? I went to a holiday party last night. You better believe I had a mixed drink that was way too sugary.
Look what Sergio just made.
Sergio, why does my face fit perfectly in there?
Can I be honest with you?
That's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, brilliant.
No, my face was made for a habit. Let's be real.
Sergio just put Erin's face in a Sister Act poster, and it is seamless. He replaced her face with Whoopi's face with Erin's face. It's a seamless transition.
Well, except
the hands.
Except for the hand, yeah.
That's true. But the face feels. It's
I love
a perfect match.
Hey, by the way, if this sounds fun to you, I guess I don't know what to say personally about your life, but you can join in on the fun with us once a month. We do our Lady Attorney Live, and we've got them
the episode,
all here today.
They chat us up in the chat, and then afterward, we do a Q&A with them after we record. It's very fun.
That's right. And Bryan, what else we got on the old vault?
Well, there's a brand new vault episode. This one's episode number 68, meaning, Erin, we're one away from 69.
Uh-oh. The favorite episode of all time. Horsemouth.
In episode 68, Erin gets pink eye and has to go to her secret urgent care / beauty spa for...
Oh, yes. Okay, remember this place? It was in Beverly Hills. Do you remember this place?
Sort of.
It was... half of it was an urgent care and half of it was a diet spa. So when I would tell people, oh, I went to an urgent care, some people would go, oh, that's where I go get like, remember when people before Ozempic would go get like shots of stuff?
Like vitamin B shots or yes.
But it was also like stuff to make you not hungry.
Oh, I didn't know
It was a
that.
straight
Okay.
up diet center.
Got it.
Yeah. Anyway, those two things happened in the same
They
building.
helped your pink eye. I see. Oh, I see.
I went in for a UTI, a kidney infection, and pink eye.
And Erin, by the way,
my pink eye, I believe, wasn't pink eye at all. It was when I had a hair in the back of my eye.
Oh, that sounds awful. That really does sound terrible.
And my doctor had to pull it out. Hi, Dr. Ron. He's retired now, but I still go to dinner with my doctor.
Do you really?
Yeah.
And Michelle Collins does too. She
love-
texted me the day. She was like, "Hi, I'm at Houston's with my doctor," and I was like, "What?"
I wonder. By the way, in LA.
No, she was in Miami. She was. In Miami,
okay. Well,
where her parents are. Yeah.
I adore my doctor from LA. He's still around, but he's not practicing anymore because he got burnt out during COVID. But I adore this man. He found out I had Hashimoto's.
You're kidding.
No.
I feel like that's probably not an easy diagnosis either.
It's not at all. But he's meticulous.
God love him. Bless him.
Okay.
By the way, Erin, I was dead wrong. I always thought it was episode 69 that was romantic films. It's episode 68. So this, if you're ever going to listen to a vault
this is
episode,
romantic films?
This is romantic films.
Oh.
This is Erin and I's favorite episode of the first, say, 100 by far. This was our number one episode. So it's worth joining patreon.com/attitudes this week.
I think because we were both very sick and upset.
Yes, we were. Oh, and I think I was sleepless even.
Yes.
Yes, it was something crazy like that.
Yeah.
Also,
exactly. We got a Dateline this week, right?
Oh my God. This episode, it's called After the Halloween Party. By far, this episode has the worst lower third Chiron questions Dateline has ever come up with in their entire history of existence. It's 2011, the hottest Halloween party of the year in Dyersburg, Tennessee. We talk about horse buddies. We talk about someone with the last name Hog Shooter. And and I hate this word, or these words. I hate saying these words. It's so sinful. A lot of talk about hot tubs. And I hate those words. I hate them. I'm going to have to say a prayer after this. Also, Grocery Seasons 4 is complete. All 10 audio episodes are out now for $10 and up tiers on Patreon. If you're a $10 and up tier or you sign up for it, you'll get those for free. Otherwise, you could buy the entire season 4 collection with the video and audio episodes for $20. Not to mention we're on YouTube, so you'll get the first act of our video episodes every week free. You can find us by searching Attitudes Pod. And also, because the holidays are coming up, just so everyone knows, that the free feed
people
will be
didn't know
getting...
that the Hollywood holidays were coming?
There's no sign of it anywhere. You can't, there's no sign of it anyway. But we just wanted to let people know that some of the free feed episodes will be getting Patreon releases for the next 3 weeks. But patrons always get all new episodes, even during the holidays. So if you're a member of the Patreon, every week you'll still get new episodes like on the calendar, like you always do. And the free feed will get some of our Patreon exclusive releases released to the free feed.
Well, Bryan, do you want to get into some shoes?
Yes. God, yes. I wanted to end this year with everyone knowing there's some good old-fashioned and brand spanking, everyone saying news. I thought I would end the year with a little bit of an upper.
Oh, good.
Now, there is real concern. Now, this is going to start off not...
That's already bad. I don't understand. This is a gaslight.
The good news comes at the uplift of it, possibly.
Okay.
And it's a big if it's good news, to be honest with you.
Oh, great. So it's up to us to decide whether or not this is good.
Well, it's not. It's up to the legislature. You know what? This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to tell you it's good news, like they do in the Bible. Remember in church how this is a very religious, I would say, have you heard the good news? And I always wanted to be like, church is over? Is that the good news? Are we out of here now? No, honey, that's never been the good news. And then I can't even tell you what the good news was. I guess it was that Christ was born. By this time.
Did you call it the Christ?
By this time, the Christ child. By this time next week, I will have seen face to face Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper.
Oh, this is very exciting.
Can you imagine?
No.
I'm so excited that I'm doing a full light.
I wonder what Christmas in Italy is like.
Biceps. I'll tell you what it's like. I've been to Rome at Christmas.
Okay. They like Christmas there, yeah. But is it like, it's not like London where it's like a full, like you're in a fucking gingerbread house.
Well, what's kind of probably not quite that far, but what's kind of cool, especially when you walk around like the touristy sections of Rome, is that every fashion house does their own Christmas tree. And it's really cool. It's like beautiful. Cool. Like, the Gap. Bulgari has one, Dior has one, Fendi has one. That's really fun. But no, I would say that they sort of underdo it in a way that's nice.
Okay.
So you don't feel so oppressed by it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was the good news. But there's real concern that Lawrence versus Texas, which I talked about, if not last week, the week before maybe, which Lawrence v. Texas was the Supreme Court case that struck down all those horrible draconian sodomy laws in 2003. There's real concern that Lawrence v. Texas could be up next or soon to be overturned in a similar way by the Supreme Court as Roe v. Wade. So again, I don't know what it is about the perverts in the Supreme Court or the perverts who are trying to take cases before them, but every time I cannot believe that the government out of my business party, which is mostly what the Supreme Court is made up of, that the keep the government out of my business party and the keep the government out of my business judges are prioritizing that things with women who do with their bodies and gay men do in their bedrooms are the most imminent threats to this country.
Yes.
It's so shocking.
And what anyone cares to do with their hormones.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Which is what's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
So some states, like Texas, as we discussed a couple of weeks ago, do still have sodomy laws on the books, even though these are now, and I learned a few things, these are now called zombie laws. I'd never heard that term. But a zombie law is a law that is still on the books, but it cannot be enforced in court because of the federal law. So that actually answers a million questions for me, because I've often wondered, can you go after someone in Texas for sodomy, even though the law of the land is you cannot go after someone because of that? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So apparently that's called a zombie law. Where
it's like the Comstock law. They're all the same.
So if it's outlawed nationally or federally, but it's on the books in the state, you technically cannot enforce this in a court of law in the state that it's
But people try.
Of course they try, but you technically can't. It can't be enforced in court. But as I mentioned before, the sodomy laws could be given new life if the court changes its position in Lawrence v. Texas and says that sodomy should again be outlawed. So again, the Supreme Court, for the time being, loves anal in this moment, but they could hate it soon.
Yeah.
Michigan is another state like Texas in that if Lawrence v. Texas is overturned, it would revert back to the state of Michigan's law as it is on the books right now. And that sodomy law is still on the books. So that could become enforceable and sodomy could be criminalized because it's the sort of anti-sodomy laws are not codified in the state constitution. So basically we're talking about ultimately it could be a state full of sides. Do you understand?
Yeah.
A side, Erin, is someone who only does oral.
Oh, I didn't know that.
At least in the queer world. Maybe just in the gay men world. I'm not sure. But a side is someone who only does oral. They don't do anal.
I've never heard of a woman in a straight relationship who considers herself that.
A side, yeah.
Yeah. Is it a name or is it like
it's not a slur. No, it's like you would classify your position.
Oh, okay. I'm a side.
But we have a side in the chat. So yes, it's very common. And no, it's not like acai. It's just side. Do you understand the Barry? Hello?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Oh, I wasn't sure if you stopped recording.
Oh, I don't pronounce it that way, so I didn't recognize it.
Okay. So
I say acai.
Right. So I say side.
Yes.
So
now I will put acai
I really
in
am
my
going to end
mouth.
it all today. I want everyone to know.
Only in my mouth, not my vagina.
Absolutely not. By the way, has anyone ever actually seen an acai berry or just an acai berry bowl?
I have.
Understand? You've seen the actual berry.
They're frozen.
And not just the
They're frozen. Well, you can't get them. They're in the fucking Amazon.
So they say. So they say.
I see what you're saying. You think it's a scam?
Well, if I don't see it with my own eyes, does it exist?
You're going to blow this whole berry scam right open.
You know I am. So 8 Democrats in Michigan have voted in support, this is the good news, of the legislation to overturn the existing law and decriminalize it in the state constitution. 2 Republicans, or to make that state law, striking down the state sodomy law. 2 Republicans opposed it, and 2 more opted not to vote, which I can't think of anything more courageous.
Cowardly.
Yeah. If you're going to be an asshole, do like the 2 who voted against it.
Be an asshole. Don't be a pretend asshole.
Correct. So the bill is being sent to the House, the state House, for an additional vote. It'll then go to the Senate. And if it passes there, which people are thinking it will, it'll then go to Governor Gretchen Whitmer's desk. And we can assume that she'll sign it because she's she's
badass,
a Democrat and for the left. Noah Arbit is a state representative Democrat who introduced the bill. And he said, despite repeated attempts to do so, the legislature has never repealed Michigan's so-called sodomy ban, permitting a zombie law that insults the constitutional right of Michiganders to remain on the books. Now, sodomy laws, as I mentioned before, even though it just says sodomy in the law and says, oh no, we'll go after anyone, it's literally just to go after gay men. That is what the laws are on the books for. They can't explicitly say that, but that's what it is. These are just full stop homophobic laws talking about 2 men having sex. This law has historically been used to only target gay couples as an attempt to criminalize them and criminalize what they're doing in their bedrooms and etc. State Representative Josh Shriver has openly said that gay marriage should be made illegal again on social media. So there aren't some people who are against this. And the current sodomy law in the books prohibits what they call abominable and detestable crime against nature, either with mankind or with any animals. So putting 2 consenting adults in the same category is bestiality. And they did make it clear that the repeal would keep the provisions against bestiality. So the law is only it would only be to make gay sex legal. It would not be to make bestiality legal. So everyone relax, okay? So here's the thing. When the sodomy law was enforceable, because people probably think like, oh, what could have been the punishment? Before Lawrence v. Texas, it was still punishable by up to 15 years in prison. 15 years. And individuals with a prior sexual assault offense could face life imprisonment from it. So actually, even though we think or you would think logically, why is this, or maybe even Michiganders think, why is this such a priority to put legal anal sex on the books? It actually is a priority because people do go after it and will go after it and criminalize these people. And all of a sudden you're having sex with a hookup, your partner, but again, between 2 consenting adults, and you could go to prison for it. It's insane.
But by the way, I mean, the phrasing shouldn't be why you should make anal sex legal.
Of course.
It shouldn't be just no sexual act between two consenting adults should be illegal.
And by the way, the assholes, two of the assholes who have voted against this, whose names are, first of all, they look like identical twins. And secondly, their names are Bryan Bagol and Bob Bazat. BBBB. Honey, you can't have the initials BB and then talk to me about no anal sex. Okay? Sorry. Your initials can't be BBBBB, which is bareback bitch bend. You understand? You can't have BB and BB talk to me about how anal sex should be illegal when you were basically the inventors of it.
Can I guess what they wear?
Please.
Ill-fitting navy suits. But the jacket and the pants, jacket and the pants are 1 degree of color off.
Yes.
So they're not quite together.
It's not quite the same blue.
Yeah. And then they wear like really upsetting bland, like a maroon tie.
Please welcome to the stage, Amy said. Bareback bitch band. Please welcome to the stage. By the way, they are bitch pigs. These two guys, just so you're
for sure.
aware. Or pig bitches, I guess.
Yeah, pig bitches.
Yeah.
Get yourself right to the Twin Towers Memorial.
Please, please. So Bryan Bagol, not Bob Bazat, but Bryan Bagol said, my vote was intended to send a message. I don't believe the majority of Michigan citizens feel the legislation is a priority right now. Many people have bigger problems right now that they need help with. Honey, you're not helping with the bigger problems.
Then how about
I guarantee you that.
Why
And B,
this
takes nothing. You did a simple vote and now it's moving on. So what time did it take?
I don't think we should be dealing with this right now, says a person holding it up. Well, you're making it take longer.
Totally. You're the one countering it. If you don't want to deal with it, then honey, don't deal with it. The other bit of big news and good news that I wanted to address very quickly is Poland, one of the most homophobic places in the EU. In fact, they were the ones who years ago, Erin, set up LGBT free zones.
Yes.
Where you could put a sticker on your storefront saying, no LGBT people work here or are welcome here. And it was like, there were even LGBT districts and all of this, or anti-LGBT free districts that were, and I think the EU really put a lot of pressure on them, but there was a lot of, obviously, hate speech that came from this, people putting up these stickers, no hate crime protections, all of this, people really suffering there, saying they felt like second-class citizens and that they were treated that way if they were gay. And the government essentially saying, we don't think you deserve equal rights because you're not creating families. And because, Poland, like many of these places, is becoming more nationalist. And also the government at the time was really looking more to the east than to the west, which is a scary thought because obviously they have done that before. But there was a lot of hostility with that. Well, now, in a very exciting turn of events, Poland has started to make moves for queer rights after it banned hate speech against sexual orientation and gender in a new set of regulations. So that's very exciting. And this hasn't completely passed yet, but it's on its way to, because right now the laws protect hate speech on the basis, outlaw hate speech on the basis of race, religion, and ethnicity. And it looks like it's on its way for these regulations to now include sexual orientation, which is a big swing from what Poland was doing in recent history. And the UN has been all over them. And I think the EU has been all over them about this. And so that's very exciting.
Very exciting.
We're almost there.
Well, this is where I get to the part of the shoe that is the good news. Right?
So yes. Okay. And it does look like the Michigan thing will pass. So
it will pass. Well, that's
probably.
Very exciting. I mean, I have to say, like, not to quote Sturgill Simpson, but who I adore, but there was this video of him going around saying at a concert, this is the death rattle of these men.
Right.
Toxic male control. I do believe that.
Sturgill Simpson is. He's a singer. I'm just saying now.
Yeah, he's a country. Well, he's not country. He's like folk country.
Okay.
And guess what? He's also a fine actor. I'll say it.
There we go.
But seeing a straight white man who's in the country music scene say something like that made me feel very optimistic.
Well, you want to know something so funny? You said Sturgill Simpson, and I immediately thought Sturgeon Simpson, like a fish, sturgeon.
That's
and I
so
thought,
funny.
you remember that that striped bass that would sing on those walls?
Big Mouth Billy Bass. Well, he's also talk about
he's a singer,
senator name.
And I immediately thought of him, and I have been laughing ever since you said this guy's name.
Remember,
because Sturgeon Simpson.
Sturgeon Simpson.
Is that hilarious?
Yeah. What I loved about those bass is that A, when they ran out of batteries, but then B, when people would just have them on the wall and you didn't know that when you went by and started singing.
It was so funny.
Scare the shit out of you.
It was so funny.
Yeah. I love it.
It was really funny.
I wish his name was Sturgeon Simpson.
Me too. But it's not. It's Sturgill, which is a nice name. Anyway, I probably won't check out his music, but I'm very proud of him.
You know what? Actually, if you have any room in your heart for country music.
You know, I do.
Okay. Well, I would suggest him because, and I don't know why this now turned into a Sturgill Simpson fan session, but
that's okay.
He sings very sweet, very thoughtful, very emotional songs from a place of like basically Americana. It's not really country, I would say. And so it ticks a little box for old Strawberry Wine Gibson. You know what I mean?
Sure. I do know what you mean, actually.
Bryan, I don't subscribe to the school of thought that tits are everything. I don't really do that.
Right.
I know you do.
Well, they are everything to me. They're everything to me.
Yeah,
they are. They're everything to me. Yeah. I don't know I can't think of my life without them, you know, and without seeing them and thinking about them all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Touching them, putting your face in them. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, that's me.
This is famously the time of year where I remember being in the parking lot of the Albertsons on Hillhurst and getting out of my car.
I'm already so sad because that's a bleak Albertsons.
That's the one where you called our friend. You thought you called her friend, "What's up, you dumb bitch," but it wasn't her.
Right.
Was that it? Albertson or
Gelson's?
Gelson's?
The store. No, it was Vaughn's. That was Vaughn's.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay.
That's okay.
I was in Albertsons and I was talking to my dad and it was, making Christmas plans. And he started telling me the story about how he was talking to one of his friends about how many commercials I'd booked that year.
Nice.
And then he said to his friend, and this is him recounting it to me, he goes, "And you can believe she did it with no tits?" Now, that is the dad equivalent of dad to daughter of Smoke Up Johnny.
My eyes became Felix the cat just now.
It came out of listen. Yeah. My dad was a very damaged, abandoned person.
You don't have to explain it. I'm not saying.
But I'm going to say one thing.
Obviously, the
amount of things that my dad has said to me without realizing that I'm his daughter is shocking. Like,
he thinks you were like a buddy.
He's like, this is my fucking drinking buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is also why I know how to change windshield wipers on all of my family's car.
See, there's a pro to every con.
There's a plus and a minus.
That's right.
So, okay, tits are not a prerequisite for booking a Progressive and a Target commercial in the same year.
No, they're not.
But they should be mandatory on CPR Dummies. And by dummies, I mean mannequins.
Oh, you know what? I've never really thought about that, but that makes perfect sense.
I'm going to walk through all the reasons why it's a huge fucking problem.
That's my privilege right there, baby.
Most CPR dummies, if you know because you were a teenage lifeguard like me, or you thought that your day job when you moved to LA was going to be a trainer at Equinox. Did you know that I'm licensed to be a trainer in the state of California?
Well, by the way, I think you would be a really good one.
Oh, thanks, Bryan.
I mean it.
Well, all I do now is sit my fat ass in a chair and ask for key lime pie. So I don't know if that disqualifies me.
As long as you don't tell people.
I've had 4 slices of key lime pie this week at different restaurants. What I'll tell
you. I've known a few trainers in my life, and this is not to generalize, but I've known a few trainers in my life who maybe don't eat key lime pie, but they definitely do cocaine.
Oh, that I get.
So call it what you will.
Okay, so CPR mannequins, as you know, if you've ever taken a CPR class.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was, where the fuck is she? And I'll remind people who Recessa Annie is. But
yeah.
As a matter of fact, I believe that was the first CPR dummy. And now if you look at any of these classes, these dummies are ripped, mask for mask.
Really?
They're ready for their Marvel movie debut.
Ooh.
They're 2% body fat.
Oh. Ooh. Well, I know I'm skin and bone after hearing that.
Well, you know what, Bryan? I think you would really enjoy. Speaking of, what do you call it? Siding? What's it called when you only
just
give
side?
blowjobs?
Someone's a side.
Someone's a side. A CPR dummy is ready to side only because it has no bottom holes and only
it's just a mouth.
Open wide top hole.
That's true.
Ready to receive.
You're right. All dolls are ultimately sides. Well, Resuscita Annie.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
So Dr. Rebecca Szabo knows this is a problem. She is the head at the Gandel Simulation Service at the Royal Women's Hospital in Melbourne. Now, I don't know what some of those words are.
Delicious. I love that.
The Gandel Simulation Service at your service.
Love this.
She looked at the CPR mannequins, and over the 20 varieties that exist, they all had flat torsos, and only one model had a breast overlay. 8 of those torsos were ID'd as male, and 7 had no gender specified, but did not have a breast overlay. Now,
do you think, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask do you think people are afraid that it's like perverted to teach people how to do CPR on a woman with breasts? Is that like part of it?
Let me tell you what's
happening.
happening.
Something horrifying like that? Yeah.
Okay. So in June or July of this year, there was another study that came out of Australia that found that women are less likely to receive what they're calling bystander CPR, which is where a stranger gives you CPR because people are afraid to touch their boobs. So women who are having heart attacks are dying at larger rates because no one will give them CPR.
Oh my God.
And if it's happening in Australia, you better fucking believe it's happening in other countries. All because they don't want to touch women's breasts. And let me tell you something. If you're dying and you have a life-saving skill, that should really be on the last thing on your fucking mind. And by the way, touching someone in a way that's not sexual to save their life is not sexual. You made it perverted by thinking it's sexual.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's like, fuck. So now, on top of all the other things you have to worry about, being person who identifies as female in this world, is that if you have a heart attack, someone might not touch you because you have boobs, and they'll just watch you die. Now, that's not to say a paramedic would do that. This is people who know CPR who come upon you while you're having a medical emergency and won't do anything for you. And I don't know if the Heimlich is the same kind of stats, but definitely for CPR, the stats are there, and they show that women die at like 33% higher rates than men when they have heart attacks because no one will perform CPR on them.
That is so insane.
Dr. Rebecca started her dummy journey when she was looking at CPR mannequins to train people in life support for pregnancy, specifically cardiac arrest while pregnant. And that's when she started going, I don't know how to teach people this when I don't have any dummies that are the body representation of what they need to be practicing on. And I have to say, this article came from The Guardian, and I have had a really hard time with it because the way they spell mannequin is MANIKIN. And then
by
also,
the way, my vote is I, sir, for that spelling.
Much easier.
We're trying to get so fancy with the word mannequin over
Mannequin.
Mannequin. Yeah. I mean, give me a break.
Also, Dr. Rebecca is an OBGYN, and they spell gynecologist GYNAECOLOGIST.
Gynecologist?
Gynecologist.
Wonderful.
I love it. Do you want to guess what Dr. Rebecca did to make those mannequins she had in stock present more female?
Can I be honest with you? There's something about you saying Dr. Rebecca that makes me think, was she the doctor for the Donner Party? Or was she with Lewis and Clark assisting them? is she a medicine woman or
because
a
of Dr. Quinn? Yeah. Yeah.
Something about, hi, Dr. Rebecca.
Hi,
it
Dr.
sounds
Rebecca.
it sounds like a doll my mom would have played with like in the early 1960s.
I have to be honest with you. My new doctor is a woman and her name is Lisa. And I just call her Dr. Lisa to her face. And
She's cool with it.
she's cool with it. I think you know what I like? It's formal and casual at the same time.
That's true.
You know?
You know what?
It's like Mr. Bryan. Like, people call you that in the South, right? Hi, Mr. Bryan. Like children. Right. They make children do that.
Yes.
Hi, Mrs. Erin.
Yeah.
I think that's why I like it.
Yeah, I don't mind it either, actually.
Oh, hello. You can. Hi, my name's Bryan Safi, but you can call me Mr. Bryan.
Mr. Bryan.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that at my next audition.
Do you want to guess what Dr. Rebecca did to make those mannequins present more female that she had in stock?
Put boobs on them?
Yeah, but what kind of boobs?
Oh my God. I don't know. Honking ones?
Drag queen breastplates.
Perfect. You know what? Very realistic.
Love it. I hope she didn't get Jimbo style, 3 levels of breasts.
No, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I hope that it was somewhat accurate representation.
Yes.
Those look good, though.
Oh, I love them. By the way, I don't know if anybody's seen the drag Christmas show, the live one.
No, I hear it's good, though.
But Jimbo dresses like Santa Claus as a pregnant person.
Oh, I can't wait.
And dances around in a negligee. I believe gives birth on stage. I don't know for sure, but I have to tell you, it's a masterpiece.
Oh, Matthew, who's on, just went on Friday. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. Matthew, did you see Jimbo's costume? Oh, yeah.
Said yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
I have pics. Okay. Put him in the chat. Well, I'd love to see him afterwards too. So it's important work because you need to learn how to deal with things like, this is what she said. You have to deal with a bra in an emergency situation.
Sure.
And I'm telling you, I've been wearing bras since 1992. I only clip one of the clips. So I'm all jank when I can't even really do it well myself.
Right.
We all need these reminders. You also need defib paddles to go on the chest differently when there are boobies. And also when there are implants, you have to do them differently. So you need to practice all these things.
You know what? I really should take a CPR class again. I haven't done it since I was like 12.
May I suggest at Beverly Hills Fire Department?
Yes, you may. I wasn't expecting you to say all that.
Yeah,
yes,
I think you should take it at the Beverly Hills.
Would I just show up in my panty shorts and, a bare chest?
I will just say this. If the man who's teaching them now is the man who was teaching them then, you will thank me.
Okay.
Not to be an old divorced aunt, but.
So I just knock on the door and say, hey guys, ready for a flamer? And strut in.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'm sure word has already gotten out about this man. You won't be the first.
Perfect.
Dr. Rebecca, and there's some other people who've spoken out about this issue, have asked the manufacturers to please diversify the mannequins. Don't forget, as Bryan mentioned earlier, and from an episode of Dolls that we did, that the original female mannequin, Recessa Annie, was modeled after a dead woman they pulled out of the Seine in France.
I think I forgot that.
So basically the order of events is someone pulled a dead woman out of the Seine. They made a death mask for her. Someone turned that into a doll for CPR. And then, like most things in the world, we threw her away for a male model.
Sure.
Okay. And yet, you know what else needs to change? Not only are all the mannequins male, they are majority white. Mm-hmm. They are skinny and they are young. You know who doesn't usually need CPR? Men who look like Chris Evans on day one of shooting Captain America.
Right.
So we need to get the sculptors in there, okay? And we need to see some real people in the CPR torso industry.
It's too bad we can't get Michelangelo in there, but he's long dead. Although he would do exactly what you don't want.
He would make this fucking
the Statue
torso.
of David. Exactly. Forget that. Fuck him.
Have you heard? Because Ollie always
he was nasty.
Oh, what a nasty man.
Because
Ollie was like, I don't buy that anybody looked like that back then, because those are essentially like perfect male figures.
Oh, no. They're like filtered Instagram. I mean, it really is like the first filter. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Of course. Yeah.
He also said that Ollie was also saying that like the reason those it's Instagram filter, but then also what's not an Instagram filter are the dicks. Because I guess in Greek culture, small dicks were more civilized.
I can understand that.
That's what they said.
Well, in all the like in the books that I've read before about Rome, because I was like on this kick with it. Yeah. Basically Mary Beard, who wrote them, she was like, just so everyone's clear, none of the emperors looked like this. They did not have 8 packs. They were actually disgusting. Like, yeah, that wasn't a thing.
But they did have micro penises.
She doesn't say it.
Yeah.
But
I
that
believe
would suck if you were a side and you had to deal with that.
What if you were...
You know?
You know what problem you didn't have? Choking on a big old hog.
That's true. We'd like to thank all of our lady attorneys for being here. We will have Patreon episodes and stuff coming up for the free feed, but all new episodes on the Patreon. Listen, we'd like to wish everyone a happy holiday. The holidays can be tough for a lot of people. And so what I really, really hope is that even for the people it's not so tough on, for everyone, do something really great for yourself. Like, if it's watching a movie in bed, if it's eating in bed, if it's eating out in bed, if it's, going to get a massage, anything. Just do something really great for yourself.
And
you deserve it.
Also, if you know someone is solo for the holidays or maybe can't travel or whatever, like, just send him, call him up, send a nice message. Like, let them know that you love them.
Yeah. I'm waiting.
Oh, sorry. I love you.
It's okay. Thank you.
So forced.
No, I love you too.